one of the things that has to happen for data centers to become big, for space tech to continue to grow, for quantum computing to take off, or for the semiconductor industry to continue to rally, or for Tesla to continue to develop and see more investments, or for energy and sustainable energy to continue to develop, or for the accomplishment of the goals for you as an investor and you as a person in your business, in your life, there's one thing that has to happen. And the number one thing that has to happen is you have to have a clear plan for how you're going to make it happen. And so that's the same thing with these companies that we're analyzing. Do they have a plan? Are they working towards things? The ones that have the clearest plan, the clearest way that they're offering their service for people to buy or for the world to use so that they can increase the value of their company, or for you to increase the value of yourself by selling yourself to your family, to your friends, to people. It all comes down to your plan, the plan that you have in place for you to achieve that goal. And a lot of people, 98% of them, don't operate with a plan. Why do 90% or 98% of businesses fail? Why do most investors that are trying to find the next hot company fail? 95% of them. Why do 95% of people that want to start a business always seem to get a lot of momentum at the beginning? Same thing with investors, get a lot of momentum and then it fizzles out. It fizzles out because of three things. The first thing is the belief system. The belief system of yourself while you're investing. The belief system of yourself while you're starting a business. And the number one thing that has changed the game for people, that if there was one thing could make all the difference, it's got to be having the plan backed by belief. And so when it comes to companies, that means we're focusing on stewardship. Stewardship is going to be so important because it means that the company has the vision in place to utilize the powers of human race in a way that's going to serve humanity best. So I'll give you an example. Like, there are examples of, for example, Steve Jobs, where when interviewed about the different developments, the innovations that they had going on there at Apple in the early stages, there's so many stories from employees where he says, this is the thing that we got to get done. And he says, drops the phone in the water and says, if there's bubbles, that means it's not small enough. There's space in that iPhone or there's space in that iPod, it could be smaller. And that a lot of the success came from his ability to have a clear vision, not necessarily maybe that he knew the best, that he was the best at coding, that he was the best at coming up with new, for example, product developments or new ways of creating semiconductors or new ways of doing LCD screens or anything like that. A lot of times it was his idea, his vision, and then the people would then facilitate that invention, that thing that had to happen for the company to build the tech to be successful or what have you. And so as we approach the markets and you see volatility, the markets are up huge to all-time highs and you see them sell back down, one of the biggest things will be the plan and the belief in the plan and the belief in that steward of the companies, the CEOs, that they're going to operate with integrity, that they're going to continue to develop really good products, and that they're going to continue to innovate versus who's going to shrivel up, who's going to say, oh, we can't do it right now because, the economy or this, or things are getting hard. You got competitors with maybe, what if AMD was like, oh, NVIDIA's got it. We're just going to let them have the data center. No, they say, we're going to start building into that sector of the market. And AMD says, no, we're not going to let NVIDIA have, the Tesla share. Let's do this. Oh, Starlink. Oh, yeah, we could do that. Or Rocket Lab comes out. They say, yeah, NASA, you don't need to worry about spending, $20 billion to do that Mars mission. We'll do it for $2 billion, or we'll do it for $3 billion, whatever it is that they come and they say, we can do it for way less and we can do it faster. And so that's the difference, right? Companies that have the stewardship, that have the belief in themselves through the tough times, because every time, let's say there's a correction, there's a recession or what have you, it's the companies that have the belief in themselves, because on the other side of any recession is what? Progression. On the other side of any night is what? Day. So when you have pullbacks in the market, what is next? You're going to have recoveries. And the same thing is true, and the reason it's true is because the same thing is true for physics as it is for business, as it is for life. And when things get tough, the ones that prevail are the ones that get tougher rather than shrivel up. It's like the law of use. And so when it comes to the stocks right now that we're going to be focusing on, even short-term trades, only valuable companies intrinsically, only companies that are demonstrating that value, down to the stewardship, down to the discipline, and that they're working out of integrity as a company, that they are having good financials and things like that. So just wanted a quick message for you guys on this Friday afternoon. I was out here, maybe I'll make a bogey right here. There's nobody out here. I was like, let's just do a quick video. Hopefully you guys are having a good Friday. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.